fall back. You got everybody thinking I'm all bad. You know the truth. I was always holding you down. You down. Baby. What is this for this girl? What is love? Love, what is love? You believe in it for two.
Yo, what it do, man? This is your boy, man, North End Floyd, man. This is the Kickback Podcast, and I got a favorite, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who y'all seen on the show a million times, man, a regular dog, a staple. Mr. Kendrick Smith back on the scene, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always good. I think it's been like almost a year, to be honest with you, and it's been like it don't even seem like it, but it is. I think it's been a year. But I got my boy back on the show, man. We finna chop it up about, you know what I'm saying, the youth and all those things and what we've been seeing on TV. So, man, what's going on, Ken? What's good with you, my brother?
What's good, bro, man? It has been a minute, bro, but like you said, it's always good to come on and bless each other with the information and just, man, iron sharpen iron and just keep trying to give information to the youth and just to people in general, man. I think it's a relay, man, transferring information from one person to another, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, dog. How you been though?
Ah, man, you know what it is, man. Work, shit, taking care of the kids, taking care of the family, taking care of the wife, and just staying out the way, bro.
Yeah, bro. When we didn't know getting to this age how difficult it would be as a man in this world and as a man like taking care of a family and kids. I mean, you see it, but to actually do it, dog, it's like, damn, it's like, it's some work, it's some effort, you know.
Man, talk about it, bro. I'm talking about just like 18 years, you know what I'm saying, to see you have a child and to take care and be consistent for 18 years, bro. That's the crazy part. Like, I never thought that I have a senior coming up. Like, my daughter about to graduate, and
Yeah.
to see that me take care of her from a baby, and just to see her now about to walk across the stage, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy, bro.
When you think about it, like, because man, when we grew up together, as far as like the baseball field and how our parents was raising us, and we're at that age that they was, and sometimes I like to go back and well now I like to think about like what my dad was going through,
Right.
at my age right now when he was raising me, you know what I'm saying, like the society he had to deal with, um, you know what I'm saying, work, just raising kids in the north end of Beaumont, you know what I'm saying? It just makes me
Hmm.
like, like put myself in his footsteps and to see him not give up on raising, you know what I'm saying, his sons and his daughters like that, dog. It's just something to think about.
Well, I think that to me is the foundation because we had a good example. And, I mean, my father probably didn't have all the things that I have to give to my children, but he gave me the foundation to never stop, never, what I'm saying, to never give up on your children, to be present. And I think that's pretty much what most men kind of fall off the wayside. Like, on a day-to-day basis, making that phone call, whether you live out of town or not, touching in with your children. That's something that my father did every day, bro. He called me to make sure that, hey, how you doing, son? How was your day? He came by. Have you ate today? Just the basic things, bro. To making sure that
Mhm.
I ate. And there's not too many fathers that I know that would do that. Call their children every day to just make sure they ate. How was your day? Are you okay? Do you need anything? He probably didn't have a whole bunch of money, but he made sure that I had the basics. He made sure that I ate. He made sure that my mental was all right. Did I want to talk about anything? Those type of things, bro, is important. And he helped like a lot of kids today get into different type of situations because they don't have nobody to talk to.
Mhm.
They don't have a father to give them information to get them out of tough situations. Like instead of going shoot somebody, have a father to talk to tell you how to avoid that situation. You know what I'm saying? To say, okay, son, you don't want to do that. But if it come to you, son, I don't want you to run, but you know what I'm saying, handle it this way. You know what I'm saying? If it all means if you can avoid it, avoid it. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, don't go look for no trouble. Those little things, like we can kind of touch on that topic later, but just kind of telling you those are things that a father does, that my father did at least.
Yeah, and like I said, man, you already know as far as like my old man, putting us in sports. I think as far as like a parent, I think that helps. Like, you gotta understand. your kids, like, if your kids is talented, if you see that they athletic, man, put them in sports, because sports can keep them out of a lot of trouble. Sports can keep them out of the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's a great way to meet, what I'm saying, kids like themselves, man. That's just want to just play sports and have fun, man. And uh man, I'm thankful to that my mom and my dad put me in sports, man, because I met a lot. I met you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I met a lot of us. A lot of us, what I'm saying, met each other at that baseball field, man. And we didn't even know each other like that. We just, we just came together like that. And that was some fun, one of the funnest memories I can have growing up.
Shit, to be honest with you, bro, I mean, like you say, we met each other, but also, I mean, I probably wouldn't have done some of the things that I've done had it not been for you guys. You know what I'm saying? As far as track, I mean, we used to be out there running all the time, trying to see who can beat who. You guys, to me, was the fastest guys playing baseball, you and all your brothers. So
Mm,
for me, to come up, I was like, man, if I can hang with you guys and if I can kind of keep up, that was one of the things that made me faster was racing y'all guys every day. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And your dad had us doing bunny hops and duck walks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those things like that, man, helped me in my next chapter when I got to high school, when I got to middle school, being one of the fastest kids at my school. Because you got to remember, I'm going to a different school. I'm not in the hood no more. I'm going to schools where, I'm one of the fastest kids in the school.
Yeah,
But
for
when
sure.
I go into the baseball field, I'm like 4 or 5. I ain't the fastest, but I'm right there. But when I
Yeah.
was at my school, I was one of the fastest.
But hey, man, you notice how, man, like back in the days, like I said, man, it was like the whole neighborhood at the baseball park. And
Yeah,
you had Roy Campanella also too. But now, dog, that baseball field is gone. Roy Campanella's gone. Evening Optimist is gone. Like,
there's nothing.
what
There's
happened?
nothing.
What you think happened to that?
Ah, man, what I think happened. I mean, just like everything else. Look at the neighborhoods in the black communities. They all went down. So I feel like they wasn't trying to invest into the black communities. I mean, they didn't care about our children. I mean, and then it's just nearly. I don't want to say they. We didn't care enough about our own. What are the things that we needed to do to build up that community? Like,
Mhm.
okay, if that baseball league went away, we should have had somebody that give back to bring it back as having a black baseball league. Like all the and then like I say, sometimes we get caught up into work. Your dad was one of many coaches that was working and was volunteering to be a coach.
Yep.
There's not too many parents right now that's gonna give up time to go volunteer for baseball. Like, I ain't got time for that. I
Yep.
mean, when my kid played, I was a coach and I volunteered because my child was out there. But think about it for the man that doesn't have a kid out there that just giving his time. It's not there that those guys are far and in between. People are not there to do that no more. People don't want to do that no more.
Yeah, let me tell you this, like you said, man, because I remember times like my dad would get off of work like at 4 or 5, and he'll go straight to the baseball field,
Yeah.
and we'll be there for a couple hours. And
Hmm.
like you said, the time and the commitment parents was putting in back in the days is
Yeah.
very different from now, because I see parents now, they ready to turn up. They getting off work, they turning up, hey kids, hey, y'all go do y'all homework, go do what y'all gotta do. But me and such now, we turning up. And even for the weekend, bro, like for the weekend, like back in the days, like parents was dedicating the weekend for their kids, like baseball, football.
Yeah.
Now you still have some parents that still do that, but I see a lot of people out there turning up, getting ready for the club,
Well, you,
kids and all, man. It's like, damn, take
well,
your kids to the museum or something. Like, them kids missing out. Like, it's not for the kids no more. A lot of parents, it's for themselves, unfortunately. And
To be honest with you, bro, not to cut you off, some of the best memories that I have with my old man was being at practice, just me, him, and Henry.
mhm,
My dad is out there hitting us the ball, teaching us how to catch pop ups. And,
mhm,
what I'm saying? This is after practice, just one on one time with my
mhm,
old man. So, those type of things, man, as a child, I remembered. And that was special to me, just having that one on one time with my dad, whether it was catching a football, whether it was catching a baseball. No matter what it was just me, my dad, and Henry.
yeah,
And I tried to do the same things with my son when they play sports. I mean, my son now he's playing football. It's hard to give him what my father gave me
mhm,
because he lives in a different city. But I'm just saying, like, we got to get back to. There are some fathers out there that do that. That I
Yeah.
have seen, whether they open up a basketball camp and pour back to the youth. There are those parents that do that, and there's a few of them that I can name, and I salute all guys that do that and give back. But I'm talking about then it comes to the kids. Like we're losing our children because now most of them don't want to come outside, don't want to play no sports, want to play the game, want to hang with their homeboys, that type of stuff. But I
Yeah.
think it starts from the foundation of understanding like the importance of, like you say, playing a sport.
Hmm.
It keeps you out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, we had to get our grades too in order to play.
Hmm.
Like, that was the main thing. Like, no pass, no play. And
Yeah.
my dad was on me too. Like, if you don't get your grades, then I'm not going to let you go to that baseball game.
Yep. Yeah, man, and like man, like the small things is important too. Like you said with your dad when he took you and Henry out the, what I'm saying, out the practice just to, the catch and work on your fundamentals. It's the small things that matter, bro, in a lot of people's life. Your kids really remember those small things. Like as a parent, we want to do the most and we want to provide like memorial. I mean, what I'm saying, moments for them to remember and stuff like that, but they remember the small things, bro. Like you playing catch with your dad. That's the small things that's important, you know.
Mhm.
And and even though your son stays in another city, like I say, it's the small things that matter to him, bro. It don't matter, like to him, it don't matter, like dad in another city, but dad is still there, and I could call dad, and dad checks on me and stuff like that. So the relationship is still there,
Yeah,
But like I say, the small things is important in a lot of people's lives, man, that people don't realize.
bro. And I mean, we on a topic because I mean, I'm glad we're talking about this, bro, because I had said something on Facebook the other day and it was very important. Like talking about the seed and who's responsible for the seed not growing.
Mm.
The seed is a good seed. I don't care what kind of seed it is. It could be a apple seed. It can be a pear. Any type of
Yeah,
seed.
yeah.
It's gonna grow. It's the person that's planting the seed and where you planted it is responsible for finding the right soil in order for it to grow. And some of us are not ready to be parents, and we're just dropping. We just dropping seeds anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it ain't even in soil. We just dropping seeds on
Johnny
concrete.
Appleseed.
Yeah, yeah, we just dropping seeds. And what I mean by that is, I mean, we could talk about children. We just talking about the foundation. I'm not saying at the time when I was 24, was I ready to be a father?
Mm.
I would probably say not. I learned on the fly. I was 24, had my first child, and I made some mistakes along the way.
Hmm.
But the one but is I stayed there. I stayed trying to do the best thing for her. Yes, I probably wasn't the best father as I am now with my other children because I made some mistakes with that one.
Hmm.
But the thing is, I continue to try and I continue to be present. Hey, baby, do you need to do you need that? And with my other kids, I was just like, look, I'm not going to do that no more. And so sometimes as a father, we have to continue to nourish that seed. You may not, it may not be the best soil. The soil might be rough, but you
Yeah.
got to continue to nourish it and water it. And what we do sometimes, we leave that seed. Oh man, I'm
Yep.
gone, and we
Yep.
don't come back to check in on it. And then we wondering why these children are getting into trouble, why these children are turning out the way that they're turning out. We're not nourishing it. We're not staying there long enough to keep our hands on it, bro.
Hmm.
Like once that seed start to sprout, we out. We
And
out, bro.
that's very unfortunate, man, because like Gaba said, man, and I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, my brother, but a foundation is very important, dog. The soil is very important, man. Like you said, for that seed, man, you got to nurture it. Like, I think it's very irresponsible, man. And to be honest with you, like as far as guys, man, I'm speaking on the men. Like, the women, that's someone, but just speaking on a man, as a man, to have a seed out there, to have a child out there, and don't give him the valuable necessities to survive in this world. We have young men out here, young teens out here, bro, that do not have the mental intelligence um to understand the situations that they get in. As we see every day in Beaumont, we see some teens shooting, killing, robbing somebody and they're like 16, 17. Life is gone, dog. They just don't understand like the responsibilities that come with the decision that they're making because the emotional intelligence is not there.
Got that, bro.
And as a man, as a man, you know, if you have a young son out there, you need to talk to your son out there. You know what I'm saying? Because the world is against them. Dude, I used to tell my son all the time, bro, like, look, it's unfortunate. Life is not fair, but you can't make one mistake out there. You can't go to jail. You can't get a felony because the job that you want, they already do not want you at that job. So you
Mm-hmm.
having a record, that's an excuse for them to not even have you. If you want to
Right.
be a doctor, if you want to have your own business and you want to do whatever the case may be, unfortunately, your record has to be a lot better than others because society out here does not, it's not fair. And life is just not fair. And you got to understand that. And as a father, you need to, not you, but as a father, we need to prepare our kids for the world out there. Yeah, it's good that they graduate. A lot of people put a lot of emphasis on their kids graduating, but graduating high school is nothing compared to what's going to happen afterwards, bro. Because the world will eat you up. And like you said, your kids will happen, your dreams will fade away. You know what I'm saying? And reality kicks in, you know what I'm saying? And now you're trying to build yourself up, you know, from your childhood past and stuff like that. And it becomes difficult. And a lot of people give up. And they give up on their seeds because life is too rough for them like that.
I agree, bro. I agree 100% with that. Everything you said on that. And like I said, the only thing I would probably would add to that is that sometimes as a father, bro, I mean, a half of us are, I ain't gonna say half of us, I'll say a percentage of us are in jail, got a record. And we all know most of your children is going to follow and you want to follow in your footsteps as a father. And so these children are walking around there hurt. Father hasn't been there in their life,
Yep.
feeling lonely.
Yep.
I mean, and so they're going out hurting people based off of the fact that they're hurting. And I watched the video earlier today. It was powerful because it was a kid, a dude about to go shoot up a school, and a coach stopped that guy and gave him a hug.
Yeah, I
Like he
seen that.
stopped it. Yeah. So to me, that only showed me, dog, that you can conquer anything with love. And a lot of these kids just want love. Like even though they got tattoos on their neck and all that, they want to feel a sense
Yeah.
of belonging to something. They don't care what it is. They want to attach themselves to something that they feel love them. Because, like I say, whether they don't have a mother, whether their mother's out there doing drugs or chasing behind men, whether their father locked up in prison, these kids are lonely. These kids don't have nobody. They feel like they by themselves. And I feel like the responsibility falls on what we just said, the fact of the lack of intelligence of us as parents to
Mhm.
give, we creating kids and we're kids ourselves. We're not giving these children the things we need. When you become a parent and you have a child, your life you got to push pause on you and focus
Definitely.
on them. You
Yeah, for
know what I'm
sure,
saying? You
dog.
can't think you can
Yeah.
continue to do what you want to do and you didn't have a child out here. You got to, whatever that child needs all of your attention. You can't sit there, "Oh, I'ma still want to go to clubs. I'ma still want to party." And you got to go find somebody to drop your child off.
Mhm.
Because true enough, that child is gonna hurt somewhere down the line. That's gonna come back and say, I was always at somebody's house. My mama didn't want me. Because these things are things that I experienced
Mhm.
as a child. When when you constantly getting dropped off, your parents partying and living their life,
Yeah.
dog, you putting your child in all kind of harm's way. You don't trust these people, and that's why I am the father that I am, bro. I trust nobody with my kids,
Facts though.
bro. I mean, bro, I don't like my kids being away from me. If it ain't me or his mother picking them up, it got to be somebody I trust. I don't just let anybody have
The
my
trust
kids,
word,
bro.
the word trust is it's even it's kind of hard even saying the word trust. You
Hey, bro,
know what I'm
that's the
saying?
most prized possession I have, bro.
Like,
And if
yeah, for real.
anything happens to my children, I blame me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna blame nobody else. Like, hey, yeah, you can go jump in that car. And if something happens while my child, that's something that I let happen. And so that responsibility I carry very strong, bro. And even as my children coming up in age right now, the choices, the decisions. Somebody was like, I don't like to be in my kids' business. I'm all in their business. Ain't
Yep.
no way a kid walks in your house, 16, 17, and have a gun. Ain't no way you under my roof and you have a gun. And I don't even have a gun.
And you don't know about it.
Yeah, and you don't know about it. And then
You
next
don't
thing you
know
know,
it.
your kid going out there robbing, bro. You better check them drawers. You
They
better
don't do
check
none
them.
of that, dog.
They scared of their own children. I'm checking text messages, 14, 15. Long as you under my roof, that's how it was, man. When we grew up, like parents, you didn't have all of this technology, all of this privilege to be like, oh, that's my phone, or this my room.
Hmm.
What? You couldn't even shut your door back in the day. I don't care if you was
Yeah,
mad and you called a whooping. Don't you shut no door in my house. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's how it was back in the day. But now these kids are too entitled because we give them too much leeway.
Let me ask you this, Ken. How much of a teen's behavior is due to the parenting?
I say 100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's what I'm saying. We're responsible for what we allow, what that child does. Anytime but because you got to understand, it started at before she got to teenager or he or she, before they got to their teenage years, it was a pattern of behaviors.
Hmm.
So if you allow that kid or that child to get away with certain things, then when they become a teenager, then it's like, oh, they're out of control. So it's like you got to stop it before it starts.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of parents don't even teach their kids how to talk to people. You know, like
Yeah,
they don't know how to properly talk to adults, man. You know, when they get in a situation, they cussing, they disrespectful. You know, the manners is not there, man. There's no yes sir, there's no yes ma'am
that's
behind
automatic.
nothing like that. Don't even know how to properly shake a hand,
Yeah, yeah.
all kind of things, man. Yo, one time I was at the store, I seen this kid at LIT.
Hmm.
I was at a job fair. I was representing my company at a job fair, and I seen this kid at LIT. You know, and he was trying to get into the field, and I seen him at the store one day, and then I shook his hand. I say, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Yeah, I remember you." I shook his. The handshake was soft, dog. I didn't tell him nothing, but I
Right,
was
right.
like, the handshake. I was like, "Damn, bro," you know, like
But
gotta have another firm handshake, and you gotta look a man in the eye as far as but hey, nobody probably taught him that,
nobody told him.
you know.
Nobody told him, bro. Like my son KJ, he's 10. And when we talk, I always make sure I tell him, hey son, this is how you grab a man hand. You know what I'm saying? This is how you shake it firm. Those are things that you embed into your kids if you got a young man. I'm not a woman, so it's certain things that I don't do with my daughters. I don't really talk to them about women stuff. All I try to do is love on my daughters and show them how a man's supposed to treat you.
Mhm.
That's my role as a father, is to be there for them and teach them things. If they ask me about certain things, I give them my best opinion. But when it come down to women stuff, I really don't know a lot because I'm not a woman. I leave
Yeah.
that for my wife to do.
Uh-huh.
But but as a man, I stand to where I can guide, and they look at me how I treat my wife. So I expect, long as I treat her good, that's the example. That's the bar.
That's the bar that's
That's
the
the
bar
bar.
you're setting right there.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
bar.
for sure.
If I treat her and I provide for her, they understand, hey, my daddy did this. So I don't expect nothing less than what my father did. So
Yeah.
that's why I try to do as much as I can for my wife, because I want them to see through example of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, look,
No, I was just gonna say I didn't want to change the subject though. But you know what I'm saying? As far as kids out there, look, man, we didn't see like almost every trick in the book. If your kids is outsmarting you, then yes, like you said earlier, you probably don't deserve to have kids. But you can recognize red flags easily from your kids if they hanging around the wrong crowd, if they going down the wrong road. It's easy to recognize these red flags, and a lot of parents refuse to recognize them, bro. You know what I'm saying? The accountability of their kid being bad is not there. Like you know your kid gets in trouble at school, fights or whatever the situation may be, but they choose to ignore these red flags, or they might use excuses. Well, my son don't really be like that. It's those other class members that be picking on him and
yeah,
all that. Now, if your son is constantly getting in fights, constantly getting suspended, it's time to start looking at your son instead of looking at others and blaming people. Because when he goes to jail, you can't blame nobody but yourself as far as not recognizing those red flags. I see it all the time, man.
well,
Oh,
hey,
my son be getting bullied. They swung at him first, all that kind of stuff like that. Come on, man. As a kid, you're not gonna tell your parent you was the one wallet out. I'm not gonna tell my parent, yeah, I hit him first, or yeah, he was talking to a chick I liked, so I punched him. Kids is not finna be accountable and tell you that as far as being a parent.
Let me ask you a question. If you pour some Kool-Aid package and it's blue, and you pour that on something, 9 out of 10 is gonna leave a stain that's blue.
Yep.
Whatever color package that Kool-Aid package is, and you pour it on something, it's gonna be that color. So I say that to say this: most of the time, your children are a direct reflection of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're a man and your kid is doing something, 9 out of 10, whatever you were, that's probably going to be you and your children and your
Right.
child. And I'm just being honest. If that kid has a bad attitude, you probably had a bad attitude. And sometimes it's like looking yourself in a mirror and you don't want to be honest with self to say,
Mhm.
man, you know what? That's me. And
But
you
how?
allow,
But
go
how
ahead.
can you prevent that though?
How can you prevent it? Because you got to take correction action. If I know that I needed tough love, if
Hmm.
I know I had a bad attitude, so where I'm at now at 42, I wasn't that at 10.
Yeah.
I wasn't me at 10
Hmm.
right now. I was rough around the edges. I needed something. And it wasn't until I got that I became to kind of straighten my act up.
Yeah.
So for me, I got to give my son the thing that it was that
That.
corrected me. And the
Yep.
thing that what it was that corrected me was I needed love. I
Hmm.
needed somebody to tell me, hey, you don't have to do that.
Hmm.
So me, and like I say, if my son, KJ, whatever, if he was with me and he lived with me,
Hmm.
I'm 100% positive that it'll be a different situation with his attitude because he is like he's doing it because he's not with me.
Exactly. For sure. No
You
doubt.
understand what I'm saying? So if he was with me, he's not gonna act like that. But by him not being with me, now he has those things that we talked about earlier, being upset, angry, whatever the case may be. Or I know I can get away with this because you feel like, what I'm saying, you can do something because you're not with your dad, or I'm feeling mad because of that. All of these things are feelings and emotions that children go through.
Yeah. I like what you said because like not to blame the parent on this part right here, but
Mhm,
no parent is perfect. So what you was going through at a young age, and like you said, you can see yourself in your kids, like
mhm,
that's self-awareness. That's awareness, being able to be like, okay, yeah, when I was 12, 13, even though, not to blame my parents, but man, I needed like a little bit more attention, or I needed, that assurance or that confidence in myself to,
right.
what I'm saying, to let me know, or if you had a daughter, to let your daughter know that she was beautiful, because she was probably
Mhm,
getting picked on at school or something like that. Like she probably needed somebody to tell her that she was beautiful, and stuff
right.
like that. And I think like, you know, we got to start understanding that, dog, as far as like seeing yourself in in your
It's
kids, and,
deeper.
and providing your kid what you needed. Because like I said, man, no parent is perfect. You know what I'm saying? I love my parents, but they not perfect. I'm not a perfect parent.
Right.
So, just giving, just passing down what we needed as far as generations go, because that's the thing, man. We not passing down that love like we supposed to. I see people say all the time, um, you can raise your kids perfect, but they still gonna choose a be honest with you, maybe you're not raising your kid perfect. You know,
Hey, hey,
maybe
hey.
maybe your kid was constantly seeing you yelling on the
It's,
phone at Facebook, or arguing with your sisters and they aunts, and constantly having a man around, different man around, and maybe they seen that. Maybe you wasn't raising them right.
hmm,
Maybe that's the reason why they went down
hmm.
there.
I
But
like where you're going with this.
accountability is hard, bro. It's hard for a lot of people to process, bro. It's
I
really
mean,
hard.
I put it this way, bro. Anytime you look in the mirror, you gonna be like, I look good. You never gonna be like, I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna always see yourself at your best version. You know what I'm saying? But if you really allow somebody else can tell you, man, that person, I ain't attracted to that person, but you ain't gonna tell that about yourself. So it's like telling yourself the things that nobody else will tell you. Like I know if there's areas that I know that I can improve in.
Mhm,
I know I can improve in this area.
mhm,
That's that accountability part that we talking about. Like, I remember one year my son had some games and I was working and I was on the road and I missed a few. I was mad that
mhm.
I missed my son game because I never missed. I'm talking about is either my job or my child. And at that time, I had to make a decision. I'm like, son, I can't make it to this game, but
hmm
I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna do better at planning. I'm gonna be do better at making sure that I do. And sometimes what it looked like when it came to planning was taking less money.
Yeah,
Sometimes what it looked like, okay, I may not have a lot of money this half because I'm making it to all my sons' games this half.
yeah.
So, and that sacrifice is never gonna stop. That's for 18 years you making these sacrifices.
But you know
And
what? I think a good thing you did, not to cut you off, but I think you properly communicated to him, like, "Hey, son, I'm
yeah,
not gonna be like to not communicate with him at all, not tell him like that you wasn't gonna be at the game. Now
right.
it's more understanding that my dad's not at the game. I
Bro, I
understand.
gotta do it
Yeah.
because see, my thing is he looks for like one thing that I do the same thing my father did to me. When I go to the games, I tell my son what I see, where he can improve at certain things that he did wrong. So I'm like, I'm a coach, but I'm also his dad. I'm telling
Mhm,
him what I see. So when he comes off the field, when he comes home, I tell him. So next game he goes that he can make the corrections. So for me, and it's not about just sports, it's life.
yeah.
I tell my son corrections in life, what
It's
he
a lot
doing
of
wrong.
life in sports too.
Yeah, it's a lot of life and stuff. So everything sometimes is a direct correlation
Mhm,
between sports and life.
yeah.
When you know what I'm saying. So I try to tell my son certain things. If you want something, son, it ain't gonna come. You gonna have to work for it. You can't say I want to be good without putting in no work. Only talent will bring you so far. You gotta put in work when nobody watching. When you at home by yourself.
hmm
It's just you in your bed, like stuff like that, man. These are the conversations. And when I'm talking about on a broader scale, and we was talking about looking in the mirror. Half of the young ladies, how many times have you seen this? Oh, that person good in sports, just like his daddy.
hmm
If we can say that, then we should be able to say if that person bad and they daddy was bad, why can't we make that same correlation? If
hmm
you can take a talent out of the DNA, why can't you take decision making and everything else in the DNA?
hmm
Because sports is one thing. I know a lot of good athletes and they just like their parents and just like their fathers and mothers.
hmm
But also when it come down to a little girl being fast,
hmm
she could be just like her mama.
Yeah.
When it come down to, oh, her mama's just like, I've heard it, I've seen it.
Yeah.
So we gotta tie that into each other. So we can't just be like, that ain't a true thing. It's a very much true thing. If a kid daddy in jail, and then next thing you know, the child ends up in jail, that's I'm not gonna say that he couldn't make better decisions and a woman couldn't have helped him along the way. But a lot of times that decision making is altered
Yeah.
and they feel like they got to lead that same lifestyle that their father did.
Yo, I like what Sharonda said. Sharonda said, like, she said, an absent dad can really cause a kid to need counseling.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know what? Off that part too, as far as somebody's dad being absent, I think like if that kid has, I think that's when the uncles should step up.
Oh, we
I
talked
think
about this. We
that's
talked
yeah,
about that.
yeah. That's when the uncles should step up. That's
But
when the grandpa should step up to understand, like, yes, your dad's sorry as hell. But you know what? I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show up to those games. I'm gonna show up to the school to talk to the teachers with that parent teacher conference or whatever. So we're gonna avoid that situation of your dad not being there. And he gonna have to make his bed sooner or later with you. Y'all gonna have to handle that relationship, or you gonna have to, take it how you want it when the time comes. But as far as now,
yeah.
me and you and Unc, we finna be tied in. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make that happen. And to be honest with you, man, you know how they be saying like your tribe matters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And man, even though I know my uncle is not watching the show, I want to shout out to my uncle because when I was like going through high school, I think I just graduated high school and like man, I was, wilding out a little bit and stuff like that. My uncle and my aunt, and they welcomed me to go out there in Killeen. They took me in, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To Killeen and come out there and live with them, bro. And I appreciate them for that, man. And a strong tribe is everything, bro. When people care for you in general, when your family truly care, when they
Right.
truly see what's going on and be like, okay, he ain't. Let's get him out of this city. Let's get him out of the city. Let's get him in a space where he can thrive and achieve it. You know what I'm saying? And I think like nowadays, man, a lot of families is for themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of aunties and uncles, they know that they daughter and I mean not that they niece and they nephew is wilding out, but
Yeah.
they wait till it's too late to help them. You
When
you
you're
you
not,
wait till he in jail to try to talk to him and do all that, or she then had a couple kids to be like, okay, look, you got to leave these men. No, we got to start saying that at the beginning. We got to start meeting the situation head on before it even starts, dog.
right. Well, see, and a lot of times, bro, you have a lot of people that embrace the bad boy, the thug image. You got a
Yeah.
lot of people that embrace that. And the only reason that they embrace it is because you have when they coming up in school, you got women that like that. So you got to understand. So it's a cycle of behaviors. So when you let's say we start in elementary, you
Mm-hmm.
got a kid that's going around bullying kids, but yet they still got girls liking them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because I'm a bully at school. I'm bullying these kids. I'm fighting people, whooping them, and knocking them out. That's
Mm-hmm.
only because you either bigger than them at that time or what. So now you got these girls on your team. Everybody, you popular with the people.
Mm-hmm.
That same mentality follows you to middle school. But now kids are starting to catch up. So
Mm-hmm.
you still have that image in your mind that I'm better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go to high school. Now you can't go out there and think you're gonna just whoop somebody because somebody gonna whoop you. So
Yeah.
now you take your first L. Now it's like, you know what? I ain't as bad as I thought I was. So
Yeah.
now it humbles you a little bit, but the mentality is still not gonna be humbled enough to where you want to embrace. I took that L on my chin. Let me straighten up my head. You either get further into that depression. Now you want to get a gang of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to jump people
Yeah.
because see the thing is you didn't never get humbled. Because my thing is in fighting, when you take a L or you lose, it's a humbling experience, but it should make you. It's just like football. You take a loss, you come back and say, next time I'm gonna get them. This time, if I ever get in another fight, I'm gonna learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
But some kids these days take a L and it's not. Oh, I can't take that. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna shoot somebody
Mm-hmm.
because the mentality is because they feel like because they took the L, they done lost their fan base. They took the L, now the girls ain't gonna like me no more.
Yeah.
They took the L and like now everybody ain't messing with me no more. But see, the thing is, the L ain't what made you. And as you come in, like now you take that kid that was getting bullied in school, you take that kid that kept getting bullied but kept getting up.
Mm-hmm.
He kept getting up. And when he got to the next level, he got to middle school. He then took some L's and he took him on the chin, Floyd.
Yeah.
And now he's starting to get some wins under his belt. So a win and a loss are too much to him the same
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't had some losses and he didn't had some wins. So
Yeah.
he know what it feel like to have both. And then he gets to high school, he not even trying to fight or do all that because he didn't did that before. It's just only for the guys that had that mentality that I'm the baddest. Ain't nobody gonna touch me. That it goes there because until you, and that's just kind of like a dude that has his first breakup.
Mm-hmm.
When he's heartbroken, bro, they ready to go kill a girl.
That emotional intelligent
That
dog.
it goes back, yeah, it goes back to that. That's a strong word, emotional intelligence, because they never been taught how to handle that, bro.
Mhm. Yeah. And what you was just saying, as far as like it relates to life, man, as far as taking losses, because like I said, when you get out of high school in the real world, you're gonna take some losses.
Don't take some losses.
You
Don't take
might
some.
want to, that might be your dream job. You apply for it. You
Mm-hmm.
think you might get it. You interview. The interview is great.
Yeah.
We sorry you wasn't able to. We found somebody better, but keep
Right.
applying and stuff like that. A lot of people give up on their dreams and their goals when they take that L, dog. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? They give up. They give up in life. I know a lot of people, like you were saying, that was fighting in high school and doing all that, got their butt whipped. We never seen them again. We never seen them in school. That's how they come to school for the first month. They fighting. They doing all this and that. They
Yeah.
get jumped or whatever the case may be. You don't see them no more. They didn't quit. They didn't gave up on school. It's over.
Everything is over.
Everything, dog. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But I mean, life is about taking L's, bro. You ain't finna win everything in life, man. You know what I'm
Man.
saying? But you know what? You have to tell your kids that too.
Yeah. Hey,
You
you
got to
sound
tell
correct.
your kids that, man. We don't tell our kids that, man.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm gonna put it this way, bro. And this is something I probably never said. The hardest thing to do, I think, in life is just say, for instance, bro, you about to get in a fight that day in school, and you
yeah,
still go to school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then you had a fight, and you go back to school the next day.
Uh-huh.
So the hardest thing about it, you at that time back at Central, we knew it was just fighting,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to set my son up to get shot or nothing like that. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that, but I'm saying the type of father that I had, he wouldn't allow me not to go to school.
Yeah.
The way he raised me, I'm going to school.
Mhm.
Win, lose, or draw, you go see me. I'm
Yeah.
not going to skip school to avoid the fight.
Yeah.
If the fight come to me, I'm going to fight.
Yeah.
And that's life. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying? You
you gonna
got
skip the
cats
school.
now that would move to a different town to avoid the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna even show up. I'm gonna skip school,
Yep.
and that's the thing. Like I'm saying, there's a saying, bro. A brave die one time, but a coward dies over and over again. And like a lot of guys now, it's cowards.
Yeah.
Just because you pull a trigger and shoot somebody in a car, don't make you tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because number one, you never even confronted that guy. You never even said nothing to him. You just and took off.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I can't respect it. You supposed to be, tough or whatever. I can't respect that. And then now you just gave 99 years to the system behind being a coward.
Man,
When,
how many times you see a video when that kid gets read that time and they crying or they pass out and
bro,
you know
all the
what I'm
time, bro.
saying, bro?
All the
You see
time.
that video all the time,
All the
man.
time, bro. All the time. Like I say,
And
man.
that's the worst feeling
My
to
thing is why
have.
though? My thing is why you want to give the system 99 years?
Man, I think it's the culture though, dog. The culture is so toxic.
Bro,
The music that we listen to is so toxic. The environment is so toxic. Um, as far as the male figures, positive role male figures there, it's not that they don't see that, and stuff
yeah.
like that. And it just breeds that. And so they think that's cool because they see these rappers, not to pinpoint one particular occupation, but they see these rappers out here making money, jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
uh, dogging out women, and all that,
Right,
So it's the lifestyle. But a lot of these rappers do not paint the lifestyle of taking the L that we was talking about.
right,
They don't talk about the time, um, the jail time, your friends getting killed,
right,
the innocent bystanders doing these shootings when you talk about going kill a op, you know
right.
what I'm saying? And when these bullets hit a 6-year-old in the house, they don't paint that type of picture. So they're only seeing like the like the a dope story as far as like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? And
What?
to be honest with you, if you do survive that and you get in your late 20s and 30s, now no disrespect to anybody, you know what I'm saying? But hit dogs holler if y'all want to take it like that. But now you see these cats and they finally get a job and they posting these jobs on Facebook and they be like, yeah, man, real man here. And they show like the job in the work uniform. And I'm thinking like, boys been doing that since they got out of high school as far as working and grinding
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and, and being a civilized citizen.
right.
You've been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to you for finally understanding that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem, though. You know what I'm saying? Some of these cats got to go through 10, 15, 20 years of understanding that the streets ain't shit. And
Hey,
then finally understand, like, yo, this is where it's at.
that's where it's at, bro. Like, I
That's
mean,
why
I
we
put it
gotta.
this way, bro. The grind, and I'm gonna put it this way. Some of these cats have never had their own apartment, never had their own crib, never had their own bills.
Oh,
So, I mean, I'm serious. You in your 40s, but you never had no rent. You never had no responsibilities. So, therefore, doing what you're doing ain't hard.
mhm,
It ain't hard to just take care of me and be a drug dealer. That ain't
yeah,
hard. What's hard is taking my ass to work every day,
cool.
taking care of mortgage, taking care of your
Mhm.
bills. Like some cats avoid all jobs because they don't want to pay child support. Now
That's
you didn't put yourself behind the 8 ball. You can't even get a job because if you get a job, you feel like you got to pay that woman. And this is the thing. This is the thing. Now I'm glad we touched on this because this is like a serious topic to me. I mean,
cool.
even though I pay child support, I don't have an issue with it.
So if
If
I,
you make a child, you're supposed to take care.
mhm,
My issue is this: for guys out there, like, oh, if you only paying $50 or whatever, and you try to, talk big shit,
mhm,
that's not really nothing in this day and time in the economy. because the
Yep.
economy, it's hard taking
The
care of
economy
children.
yeah, the
It's
economy.
very hard, and you know what I'm saying. So if you just got a little job, and you just say you're a felony or whatever,
The
but
Wendy's job or something.
yeah, and you got kids.
Yeah.
My thing is, whether you get that woman a $200, 300, you big drug dealer.
Yep.
My thing is give her something to take care of your responsibility. My thing is if you make a child, you should be able to take care of a child. And that's it. If you're not ready to take care of a child, don't make one.
Hmm.
And the minute I made one, bro, I never quit working. From the time my daughter was born, bro, I swear I never stopped working. And
Yep.
my thing was I didn't want to be that type of dad that couldn't take care of my responsibilities.
You're right, man. Like the time I had my son, even though I was working before that, but the time I had my son, I knew like, like this, a job was like necessary, but I've been working since I was like
Hey,
15.
me too. But I'm
You know,
saying what I mean by that, I had
but the
little summer
importance,
jobs and stuff. Yeah,
like the importance of having a job and the
yeah,
importance of having a good job, just not any job.
right.
Because now you're taking care of yourself and another person. But
Yeah,
that's if you have a good foundation that you have the understanding that look, I gotta take care of this too. Let me tell you this right quick. So when I had my son,
yeah.
I was 21. I was smoking weed.
Hmm.
Smoking weed. I had a job. Homeboys, they had to pitch in. I didn't have to pitch in. I just buy my own and chill, smoke or whatever. This was when I was 21, people, or whatever. So I had my son, and I realized that buying milk and Pampers, you know what I'm saying? It accounted for a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I can't really do both at the same time. I can't really smoke how I want to smoke and buy Pampers, milk, toys, and all this. So I did the responsible thing. I quit smoking. I understood that I have to let something go because now I am providing for somebody who did not ask to be here. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And so I made that a purpose of mine or whatever. So, and a lot of people, unfortunately, that decision that I made, they would make the opposite, but I understood what was more important, and my son was more important, and I quit smoking and I dedicated, like I said, what I'm saying, having a job, having a better job to provide more for him for Christmas presents, just being there, dog. And I think the importance of fatherhood is losing is not for a lot of people, unfortunately, dog. Because like you said, when they plant, like you said at the beginning of the show, a lot of people are planting these seeds here and there, and they don't care because they don't care about they don't care about the person who they planted the seed with. So if I don't care about the person who I planted the seed with, then
bro. Come on, man.
I
See,
don't care about the seed too.
it go back to what you said a while back on one of our shows, bro. Like, dudes don't have no like care in the world. Like, we got to be more thoughtful and more considerate about what we doing to ourselves. I mean, you got 5, 6 kids, bro, just dropping babies and women. Don't, to me, I think is you really doing the community, the race, or just this justice when you giving these black women babies and you don't even want to take care of them.
They can't even
And I
take care of
mean,
themselves
yeah, you can't take care of yourself. And but I also put the responsibility on the woman too,
to
because
recognize.
yeah, to recognize this type of individual. Like if
Exactly.
this guy you giving him your body to, he's a loose cannon, he a crash dummy, and he's only trying to give you a baby to fuck your life up.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna necessarily fuck his life up because his life probably already fucked up. He's
Yep.
trying to fuck your life up to where you can't get to where you can go. Okay, if I put a baby in her, she gotta be with me.
Mm-hmm.
She can't go nowhere. They got guys out there that think like that, bro.
Yeah, they do. They do.
To put a baby in a woman just to keep her from moving around. Now what happens in the world is we got another situation where a single mother raising a child with a dad incarcerated or whatever. Because at the end of the day, if he's not working and he don't have a job, he's hustling.
Yep.
We're gonna keep it simple. If
Yep.
you're not working, you're hustling. So if you hustling, there's only two things that's gonna come out of hustling. Either your ass gonna go to jail or you're gonna get killed.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working a regular job, I mean, if you doing a hustle like carpentry work or being a barber,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah.
I'm
That's it.
talking about when you hustling, trying to sell dope, trying to sell weed, that type of stuff. Being a bootlegger, trying to get over on people. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, my thing is half of these men don't even have no type of insurance on their children,
Nope.
have no insurance on themselves.
No.
So you out of here being a crash dummy, putting your life at risk, trying to shoot people, nuts around and put that stress and responsibility on your parents to bury you.
Yo, Ken, what I always say, dog, when you choose that type of man and y'all don't work out, it goes on your resume. It goes on your resume. So when you chose that crash dummy and you finally find that good dude or whatever, and he be like, hold on, your baby daddy is such and such from,
Yeah.
damn, you was attracted to that type of man?
Hmm.
Okay, I understand that was 6, 7 years ago, but that's still on your resume, ma'am. I'm sorry, it ain't fell off. It's not like no credit report, it just falls off your credit. That's still on there. But like you said, dog, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say that. But yes, unfortunately, you know, I got and to me, man, the older I get, man, you know what I'm saying, I realize like, I'm you choose who you hang around, man. So you got guys out there that's still our age that's chasing women, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to be a player, don't even have themselves together, bro. So you're chasing women over having yourself, you know what I'm saying, getting yourself right, having your own place, having your own career, being financially stable, financially independent. You still out here chasing women, chasing the streets, chasing the block. Like, it's crazy how some people's mindset is, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's wild that people are still thinking like that, bro. Like,
Bro. I mean, my thing is, bro, at this age where we at now, bro, I mean, you gotta want more. You gotta want more for yourself. And we
yeah,
already started behind the eight ball. And
yeah,
as a black man, bro, I wanted more for my children. I wanted more for my family.
yeah,
And I mean, at the end of the day, like, have I achieved some good things? Yeah, I have. Is it more that I want to achieve? Yes. Like the greatest achievement, I think, for me is seeing my daughter graduate,
hmm,
like top of her class, seeing her get accepted to college, where I ain't got to come out my pocket, where, and I give, credit to her mom for, and like I said, it goes back to I didn't pick no any type of woman to have a child with. Me and her may have our differences, but I still think she's a good woman.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't just pick any woman to have children with. I mean, now to take the responsibility and put it on myself, where I hurt myself at is doing it the right way before having children, being married. That's the right way. That's the way that God would have wanted me to do it, and
yeah.
that's the way that I could have given my children the best of me.
But I don't like Ken. I don't think like I mean I don't think you're not behind the eight ball no more though.
Well, I mean, I started behind the eight. I'm talking about as a race. We are
Oh
behind the
yeah,
eight
as
ball
a race,
as
yes,
a
we
race.
are.
Yeah,
As a
yeah, we
race,
are.
but looking at you and talking to you as a black man, you are not behind the eight ball, bro. You are a productive citizen of our society that is doing a lot well than uh uh, not just blacks, but whites and Mexicans and Asians in general. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing well in your life, and not saying you're breaking no generational curses, but you have a good foundation for your kids. Like you set a good foundation for your kids for something to build upon. And that's the thing, man. Like we got to understand that we are trying to have the next generation be better than us.
Yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? You go have to people have to sacrifice. You gonna have to sacrifice yourself, a lot of things, hanging out with your friends, having fun. You have to sacrifice those type of things to provide a structural foundation for your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, man, like you and your wife together in that household right now, like your kids is seeing something different than a lot of other kids in America. And that's very important, bro. That's very important for your kids to see you like that,
oh, yeah,
as far as and how you treat a woman is
yeah,
very important too. They gonna grow up and be like, man, shoot, my dad used to bring my mom flowers all the time. They was
yeah,
affectionate all the time. They would be in a room dancing to such and such all the time. They loved each other. And they gonna be like, that's the type of love that I'm looking for, the type of love that my parents have for each other. That woman will be able to say, man, you don't love me because you call me once every 2-3 days, and when you do call me, it's for sex. I know what
Right.
love looks like because I know what my dad showed my mom, you know, and it's just foundations. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just providing that for our kids, man. And a lot of people don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? They just
Bro.
ready to turn up. They be like, "Hey, man, it's Friday, bro. Go get the drinks, go get the Casamigos, go get the Don Julio. Man, we finna go such and such and turn up while your kid is at home on that video game all week and it with no love provided to them, dog. That's crazy.
Well, you know, man, the biggest thing, what you were saying with that, is showing the children something, but also in this marriage, I've learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? And as I continue to develop in my marriage, like I'm a different man than I was when I was shit 35, 36, 37. I'm still working on me. And when I mean working on me, she's working on me as well. Like we working on each other.
As you
You know?
should,
And
for sure.
as we continue to build together, like I'm continuing to get a better version of me than I ever. Like I said, that's why I say so. My children, when I had them, I was still working on me, man. And I
Mhm.
mean, the father that I am, I was never a bad father.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to be a great father. I'm
yeah.
still making those steps. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, as long as you stay consistent, as long as you keep trying, because like I say, for instance, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, whoever, you never feel like you at the top.
Hmm.
When my kids look over my life, and if something happened to me, they'll probably say I had a great daddy.
Hmm.
But in the midst of it, in the moment, I'm continuing to try to be better
Hmm.
and try. And I don't feel like I'm the best dad. There's things that I can improve on, but I'm trying every day to continue to be a better daddy and
Hmm.
taking accountability for things that I didn't know that yesterday, but I know it today.
Yeah.
I try to tell my children every day, I love them because that's important to let your children know. With my little baby Bryson, he's 5. Tell you, Daddy, I love you, Daddy. You know why he tells me that every day? Because it's never been another man that he saw do what I do for him.
Hmm.
And that's
Yep.
important. I'm his hero. I'm the person he looks up to. And when you have that foundation to where your child doesn't have any other male figure to look at, but just you're the only one that's running his bath. Not, I mean, besides his mother, just me. But I'm saying you got women sometimes that bring different men, 4 or 5 different men in that kid's life, to where he probably would never be able to be like, I love my daddy, because he
Hmm.
confused. He didn't have different. His daddy may not be present, but you didn't bring different guys in to where it's watered down.
Hmm.
My father, all my kids, bro, did this to me. Daddy, I love you, daddy. I love you, daddy. I love you, daddy. And it's not something that I went looking for before they go to bed. Like before I would leave the house, bro. It was days I didn't want to go to work because my kids was crying because I was leaving.
Hmm.
Like, daddy,
Yeah.
don't go, daddy. Like you probably had moments like that too,
Yep.
when they little. And I'm saying at the end of the day, it's a good feeling, but then also, that type of love, bro, to get that high
Hmm.
or your children love you that much where they don't want you to leave them. They wait on you when you come home from work. I get home at probably about 2 or 3 o'clock. I walk through the door. I was waiting on you, daddy. Like that feeling is a high. So to bring us back to where we started with these kids, bro, that's what they're lacking. Because if you had that type of love, there's no way you're gonna go shoot nobody and kill nobody and take yourself away from your family, from your mother, from your father. You're not gonna go do that if you had that type of love to begin with. And because I'm like, what would make somebody go kill another person just to go kill them in cold blood? They don't have love in their heart. They
Yep.
never, hurt people, bro. And they're angry. These young men are angry.
Hmm.
They're angry, bro. You think about that kid in school that just was fighting people for no reason.
Yep.
Like, man, that man didn't do you nothing. Why you fighting him?
Didn't really want to go home. That kid fighting people
Didn't
at
want
school.
to go home, bro.
He ain't trying to.
He was looking for somebody to put him in pathways.
Yep.
There's kids like that, man.
Yep.
And the thing what kills me the most is society. We try to pacify that. Oh, they okay? Oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Because when you recognize it, man, and you call it for what it is, people gonna say you wrong. We got to just start being honest with what it is. These
Yep.
kids are not getting what they need from the mothers and the fathers. And these women are laying down with sorry niggas.
Yep.
I'm just being honest with you. They sorry.
Oh,
They sorry. And y'all laying down with them and having babies with them. And then y'all trying to raise these young men by yourself, but y'all not wired to deal with a man. When they start bucking and they get up in age, y'all can't handle that.
yo, Ken, Caleb Moore said, "How can you teach a man to be a great father who didn't have that example?"
Well, I mean, and that's a hard one. How can you
That
teach a
that.
man? I mean, I put it like this. I'll go to what you said. That has to be a man having to look at examples.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My dad was great, but they had a lot of great men that I took things from.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't just take things from my father. I took things from my uncle. I took things from my coaches. I took things from any man that I felt was a stand up man that was doing things that I can respect. I took things away from them
Yeah.
and I added it to my life, to my arsenal. So as a man, the first thing you got to do is want to be a good man. If you
Yep.
don't want to be a good man, you won't be a good man.
Yep.
So when you say how can you, it's like how can you teach a child that's not teachable? If that man don't want to be taught how to be a good man, he won't be a good man. See, you got to be willing to accept information from other men.
Yeah.
Floyd is a good man. Me and Floyd can talk to each other all the time how to be better men. So I would say the first thing is being coachable or teachable
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to be a good man. And that there, I mean, as you if you want to be a good man, you'll start to become a good man if you
Yeah.
surround yourself with other good men. So that's
And
my answer to it.
that's just what we was talking about, like as far as like being a parent and understanding what that kid needed and understanding what you needed at that particular age. Not saying all your parents was great, but at a particular time, you, like we said, you probably needed such and such at that time from your parents that you didn't get. So now when your kid is that age, now you want to provide that for your kid. And I think like she said, how to be a great father is to understand what you needed
Mm-hmm.
when you was a kid.
Right.
So now when you raise your kid, now you're gonna give your kid everything that you didn't get. So if you didn't get that love, if you didn't get that, you know what I'm saying, that love, I mean that love and that closeness from your parent, then you're gonna provide that to your kid because you didn't get that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just self accountability, you know what I'm saying, to being a great father. You just gotta understand if you didn't get that, then you're gonna be like, okay, I didn't get that, but I'm gonna make sure my daughter and my son gonna get that. They're
Right.
gonna get everything from me 100% because I didn't get that. And so it has to be the man within to look at himself to be able to provide that. He just got to be unselfish. You know what I'm saying? You just have to have an unselfish man. And I don't know if you can teach that or not. Maybe he might have to find God or something, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, he just had to find self within to want to be great. I think it's a good question though.
I think that was a great question. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate Caleb with the question. Appreciate uh Fran for tapping in. She said my mom treated my daddy like a king. She said, hold on, let me put it up here. She said, my mom treated my dad like a king. My dad treated my mom like she was the only woman in the world. I absolutely adored their relationship. And I think that's what's up, man, because I think society is trying to kill relationships out there, man. I think society just want people out there just single and mingling and side chicks and side dudes and stuff like that, man. Society is trying to make that so popular, and they just trying to make everything so toxic out there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The music ain't even, man. We used to have good R&B back in the days. We don't even have good R&B no more, man. You know what I'm
I
saying? We
think
got,
somebody said they trying to go back to it though.
man, yeah, but we need more of it, man. We still listening to Silk, Jodeci, 112, Jagged Edge, Keith Sweat, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, Gerald Levert. We still gotta listen to them because, man, the love is not in the music no more, man.
But hey, and you know what? That's probably I ain't gonna say that has like 40% to do with it too. Is no
Not
more
saying
good
all
music.
of it, but I'm
Yeah,
just
because if you turn on your radio and you hearing nothing but people talking about killing each other, drugs,
exactly.
it's poisoning these kids' mind, and like these kids' minds are so fragile. they not built the same. They fragile, bro. They real tender,
Yeah.
and
And
anything can set them off. But go ahead, bro.
no, like people always say, well, man, music that don't mean nothing because they listen to the music. I'm gonna tell you this, man. Growing up in the '90s and both my early '90s, it was Crips and Bloods out there. Who got influenced? How you think Crips and Bloods came out here? Because it was influenced by TV and people seen it, they emulated it. It came out here and people started gang banging. Just like in music, they rapping, they selling drugs, they pimping and doing this and that. And kids will listen to that, man. Kids pay attention to that, bro. And that's why you gotta, man. I think is another question that Kayla said as far as I don't know, I gotta go back or whatever, but she was saying something with the kids or something. She said, she said, okay, what is the proposed solution for our troubled youth? Man, you gotta provide your son, your daughter with you gotta over attention. You gotta give them as much attention as possible. You gotta annoy them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta shower them with love. You gotta over love them. You
Yeah,
gotta you gotta see who they hanging with. You gotta see who they friends with. And if you don't like their friends, then you gotta let them know. I don't like you hanging with this. No, you can't go out with this person. You can't go to the mall with this person. You can't go to the movies with this person. No, they parents, nah, they parents, nah, they doing all that. No, nah, that's what you got to do. You got to show them too much attention. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then now they're gonna be out there wilding out in the streets doing this and that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might have to spy on them. Oh yeah, you could go to the mall. You and Kayla, y'all going to the mall? Okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be on one end, and you know what? I'm gonna be on the other end. I'm gonna be right on the other end, right there, and somebody gonna be like, "Is that your dad? Huh? What? Oh yeah, that's me, right? Hey, yeah, oh yeah, I'm in here too. Yeah, for sure. You got to give them as much attention as possible. You know what I'm
boy.
saying? To avoid them from being in the streets and doing that, all that. That's my solution. That might not be the perfect solution, but that's my solution.
You
That's
know who
what
you
I do.
sounded like? You sounded like Martin Lawrence when he was talking about when old boy had played. He said you got to mix it in with Tupac on the radio, and he was saying something about you got to basically make your kids afraid of you to where
Uh,
whenever they play it on the radio, he say, "Oh, that's my dad. Somebody mixed my daddy in with Tupac." Like basically, what you saying is basically, I agree. Like to me, what my dad did was like he just kept talking, man. He kept talking. Like even though I knew I wasn't in a gang, you don't know how many times he asked me, and my grandmother asked me, "Are you in a gang?" And I said, "No, I'm not in the gang." Well, okay. Every day he would make sure I wasn't in a gang. Why you wearing this? And at that time, colors was big, but he
mhm,
was making sure that I knew, like, hey, I don't want you wearing that color because
mhm,
if you ain't in no gang, you better not be wearing that color. So it was just like it was like a broken record, bro.
mhm.
And my thing is with your children, sometimes you can't never get tired of talking. Even though you may feel that they got it, you got to keep talking.
Yeah.
You got to keep playing it like you play a record over and over until you know all the words on it. And
Mhm,
you play it over and over to your children until it's drilled in their head that, stay out of trouble. Don't do this. Don't do that. Yes, ma'am. Like, how did you teach your children to start saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am? You had
mhm,
to keep telling them. Every time they said yeah, you corrected them.
mhm.
Every time your child does something, you got to keep correcting them. So I think that we have kind of taken our foot off the gas, and what I mean by that is we're not talking to our children enough no anymore. Back in the day,
Exactly.
when our grandparents and stuff,
Yep.
they used to talk to us, bro.
Yep.
Grandmothers used to raise the children.
Mhm.
That's why some of the kids are turned out the way that they turned out because grandparents raised them.
Yeah.
But now some of the grandparents have died off, and it's on the mothers now to strictly raise their children by themselves,
Mhm.
and they're not implementing those old values.
That's the thing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like really talking to your kids, like really having like that one-on-one, like what happened today? What's going on at school? What are you
Right,
frustrated with?
right.
Like, what are you not understanding with life right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you need to know? Like, ask me a question as far as like how I like, like how I dealt with something that you're going through. Like, even if it might be kind of tough to get those questions and those answers out of your teenage kid because they teenagers and they might not be, comfortable. But then, well, then you build that at an early age. You know what I'm saying? As far as talking to your kid, like when they're at elementary or with a middle school, You know what I'm saying? As far as what they going through, as far as bullying, your kids might not tell you they getting bullied because y'all don't have that closeness. Y'all don't talk. You know what I'm saying? So now that kid might bring a weapon to school because they getting bullied because look, they tired of it. They didn't have nobody to go to. They couldn't go to their parents because their parents might not be trying to listen, or their parents don't have enough time, or their parent is on Facebook, or their parent is talking to their homegirl or their homeboy and stuff like that. So I think, you know what I'm saying, like you said, I think as a society, as a race, I think we got too comfortable, bro. I think we got too comfortable trying to chase the bag, and then we accidentally and our children got chased away. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the
Right.
problem. We was too busy chasing the bag, and then you know what I'm saying, our kids started walling out.
I'm here
So,
with you.
but
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, man. I mean, because like I said, man, Beaumont BI, not Beaumont BISD or whatever, but the news, the media, they always showing somebody's son or somebody's daughter that got arrested. You know what I'm saying? KBM TV or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Channel 12, man. It's like they live to post. You know what I'm saying? The next young black teen that got arrested or killed somebody or robbed somebody, bro. And the question always comes up like, when are we gonna break that cycle, bro? When are we gonna break that generational curse, man? Because we constantly hurting each other. It ain't nobody. It ain't the government out there hurting us. It ain't the white man. It ain't the Mexican out there. It's us hurting each other out there, man.
Right.
So do we really care about each other?
Well,
What you got going on over there, dog?
I ain't nothing much, bro. About to get ready to head to the job in a minute.
I feel you, dog. Because you know what, I gotta head to the job in the AM, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I mean, we've been on here for over an hour, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just chopping it up, man, and it's been good because it's been a minute. But we chop it up on the phone, and I always say like our conversations should be like podcast episodes because it's just what I'm saying, two black men just talking about situations that's going on in the world. And
Right.
I don't think people get it. I don't think people hear enough of it, especially what we talking about, because what I'm saying, I just think it'd be some dope conversations, you know what I'm saying, as far as positive ideas and all that type of stuff. But like I said, man, I ain't gonna hold you up too long, man, bro. But I do appreciate you uh coming on this Friday, man, and stuff like that. So I'm finna do the same thing. I'm finna get out of here.
Oh yeah,
I'm
bro. I'm about
finna
to get myself together,
chop.
pack my bag, and hit this highway, bro. But it was a pleasure, bro, to be able to chop it up with you. I'm glad that I was able to at least make this show, and what I'm saying, have a good conversation with you. And like I
Yeah.
said, I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't stay longer, but
Nah, it's good, bro, because like I said, I was finna go do my, I'm finna lay it down myself, man. But man, you have a good vacation coming up, bro. And I'm expecting to see them pics and stuff. So, all
all right, bro, for sure, for sure.
right, that's the bet.
Bet, bro.
All right, so look, man, that's the boy Kendrick Smith, man. The boy been on the kickback for a lot of shows. He probably been on the kickback over 50 times, man, like a co-host and stuff like that, man. But we was just, I mean, it was just an episode as far as talking about the youth out there, man. Parenting out there, like what we can do as far as to help our kids out there, man, as far as providing a solution. But it's always good having a dope conversation with them, because the conversation that we have on the phone is the conversation that you heard just right now. Man, look at this camera angle that I got, bro. Like, hey, this is a double little camera angle I just switched up on y'all for sure. Shout out to A to Z podcast with the little stick on and little thing. They ain't a podcast no more, but that's the first podcast that had me on their platform or stuff like that. So I didn't have a lot of people on my platform that has platforms, and they never put me on their platform. But it's all good though, bro. It's all love. And a lot of them platforms then fell off too. So hey, it is what it is though. But yeah, man, I have some exciting things coming up, bro. I got some exciting things coming up. I ain't gonna tell y'all, but I got some exciting things. There's gonna be some changes coming up. It's gonna be some changes coming up, man. It's gonna be very dope. You know what I'm saying? Y'all follow me on YouTube. Y'all follow me on IG. I would say follow me on TikTok, but I deleted my TikTok and I can't get it back. I tried all those bootleg things to get my TikTok back. It didn't work. So whenever TikTok gets bought by an American company or whatever, then y'all can follow me. Well, you still can follow me on TikTok, but I mean, I can't put no videos on there, but you could go check out the old videos that I have on there and stuff like that. They still cracking, they still popping and stuff. But this was episode 184, man. 185 is coming soon. Also, I got a show coming up with my boy. We talking about the illegal immigrants, migrants. Hey, well, we gonna be talking about, you know what I'm saying, what's going on as far as the border, as far as the illegal immigrants and all that, as far as the protesting and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's my boy, you know what I'm saying? He ran for councilman. Um, I think he ran for councilman I don't know, one of those wards or whatever. But we're gonna have a dope conversation, man. I should have had a conversation with him way back when I was doing a lot of politics. But hey, good things come for those who wait. But I got a show coming up with my boy Eric Brooks, man. He's supposed to come on here and we supposed to chop it up too, man. That's a good dude, man. I went to school with that dude, and he's providing a lot of mentorship for kids out there. Um, as far as teaching, man. But yeah, I got some dope shows, man. A real estate show coming up with Amy Gridry. We gonna do that one also, and we gonna have a good time, man. But until then, man, y'all have a great weekend. Like I said, you can follow this show on YouTube. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and blase. Until then, y'all be safe out there. All right. Y'all follow y'all goals, y'all chase y'all dreams, man. And it's gonna be all right. I'm gone.